Rise and shine, everyone. It is Tuesday, July 9th, 7:30 in the morning. As always, thank you so much for starting your day off with us. So this morning, we have a special guest, two special guests in the studio, Family Prosthetics. So we've been learning about this. They are great clients of ours and sponsor some of our shows, and so we're really excited to have them on our show this morning. And we are going to be learning more about prosthetics. And I've also been learning how to pronounce prosthesist, and that is what Scotty Sams is here, and he's here with us this morning. He's a prosthesist and owner of Family Prosthetics, and his lovely wife Audrey is joining us as well, and she is the office administrator for the business. So welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming in early this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and thanks for all that you do for the station. We appreciate having you part of our team and getting the word out about Family Prosthetics and Medical Supply. So I want to know a little bit of background about Family Prosthetics. What inspired you to be a prosthesist, to become a prosthesist, and to start Family Prosthetics?
So in '98, my mother lost her leg, and that's kind of what has pushed me into this. I ended up going to work for a local place and learning about it, and I fell in love with helping people, you know, and so I worked for a company for years, and then finally decided it was time to go out on my own and kind of bring back that mom and pop era, you know.
Yeah.
There's other companies out there, you know, that are larger corporations, and they're good, but I like the smaller feel, more intimate setting. You get to know people and they become your friends, and it helps, you know, the patient care to where that they are, like I said, it's more of a friendship.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine that when you're dealing with something like losing a limb, that it must be very nice to know that you have someone that you can talk to and that you can go in and you can feel comfortable. Because I can imagine that's quite the intimidating process of getting a prosthetic. But to have somebody that you feel comfortable with and in a smaller environment, there's a lot of comfort in that.
Yes, for sure. I've been doing prosthetics for 17 years.
Wow.
I worked for a company for a good bit of that, and I started Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply 2 years ago, and we finally got everything set up with our insurances and everything, and so we're trying to let everybody know that we exist, and you don't have to drive to Birmingham or Huntsville to get professional care. And we're right in Alexandria, so we miss all the traffic that you get to come out of the country.
Very conveniently located right there on 431 and Highway 144.
Yes, ma'am.
Right there on the corner. I drive by there quite often. So a nice, easy, accessible place to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So you had a personal connection, but you said your mom lost her limb after you had already started in prosthetics.
No, ma'am.
Before.
I was 7 years old when she lost her leg below the knee, or above the knee, and so that's the one thing I think kind of helps is I got to see her go through, you know, that first initial shock and mentally cope with everything. And not exactly get up and walk as soon as she got her prosthetic, but she had to build that confidence and then learn to walk. And now she's a great walker. She does very good.
How does she feel about you going into prosthetics?
She absolutely loves it. She also works in the front office there.
Oh, does she?
She helps me when I can't be there.
Oh, nice. So it truly is a family-run business.
It is.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
And with your mom, she can relate to your clients in a personal way as well.
Yes,
She has helped plenty of patients.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because again, I can imagine that's a really hard thing to go through. I mean, for sure.
But it's shocking, I guess, you know, just learning how to deal with everything, you know, because it's like new, you know, everything's new.
Learning, like you said, with a lower extremity, learning how to walk again.
Yes.
And I've seen some pictures on your Facebook page and on your website. You help people not just with the prosthetic, but actually learn how to utilize the prosthetic.
Yes, ma'am. We do the the full custom socket, which is what slides onto the residual limb, and we all, we order in the specific parts that are weight specific and activity specific to where it's the best for them. And everybody's different. You have some people that are gonna, move a little more and a little quicker than other people, but everybody, the goal is to get people functional and make sure that, it's what they need, because not everybody is in the same box.
Yeah, so customized per patient.
Right.
And again, having that smaller that family-owned operation gives that comfort, because then you can look at just what the individual client needs. And that's nice, because when you get into these big places, they might not ever know everyone's name or not remember, but I'm sure you probably know all of your clients' name when they come in.
He does.
Yeah.
And most all of them have my cell phone number. So.
There you go. How often does that get called up?
They call me anytime. I actually forward my office phone to my cell phone. That's one of the things. I've went out many times on Saturday or Sunday to help people out, because if something happens and they're down for the weekend, I'd like to make it to where they're not down for the weekend.
Sure.
And it's just a few moments of my time, and especially here local, Alexandria is the center of everywhere for me. I can get to Pell City as quick as I can get to Piedmont. I can get to Heflin as quick as I can get to Atala. So, we're right in the middle.
Yeah, and y'all are both here from around here locally,
Oh, yeah.
so raised in this area and choose to stay here and start your business here. Why did you choose Alexandria? Because of the convenience? Or?
Yeah, the company I worked for before, they had offices, around the area, on the outskirts of the area. So this is kind of central, so where I can see patients both in Gadsden and Anniston with the hospitals. But also, I've went Cherokee County. I'm not. I'll get out and go drive if I have to get to a patient that can't get out of their home.
Yeah.
It's people can meet me at the office. You do get a better fitting prosthetic if you do come to the office, but there are those folks that can't get out.
Sure.
Transportation issues is one of the big things.
Yeah. Not able to drive, maybe doesn't have somebody else that can take them. Wow, that's amazing. So tell me about the services, the prosthetic and orthotic, which is a new word for me, orthotic, services that you provide.
So along with the custom prosthetics, lower extremity and upper extremity, we also offer any kind of sports bracing, knee braces, back braces, spine, as far as your neck. We also do diabetic shoes, and you can get those once per year through Medicare. There is paperwork and required documentation from the doctor. And soon we'll be able to do custom foot orthotics and bill insurance for those. I'm actually trying to get my certification for that now. I've been doing that and building it for folks for years, but I never actually got the certification for that, and I'm required to get that before I can do insurance for the foot orthotic portion. But yeah, AFOs for people that have drop foot, I can do those. Any kind of bracing for the body. There's some custom stuff that I can't do, but for the most part, I can take care of any of your bracing needs.
Tell me about diabetic shoes. I've never.
Yeah, so diabetic shoes, in a nutshell, most people wear the wrong size shoe.
Okay.
It's 90% of people probably wear the wrong size shoe. People don't go to a store and get measured anymore. And if you come into my office, even if you don't want to get diabetic shoes, I can measure you and tell you what size you are, and we can order you some shoes there. Even if you just want to do it to where it's not diabetic shoes. But what we do is we measure, and we get the right width along with the right length. Diabetic shoes have extra depth in the toe, and that's going to stop any kind of friction inside the shoe, which may cause a diabetic ulcer on a foot, which could lead to amputation. So we want to try to save that foot if we can.
That's really interesting, because you do have, with diabetes, you do have that risk of amputation.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that a bulk of your clients?
Diabetes is the leading cause of
Yeah.
amputation.
Wow, that's heartbreaking.
So we want to try to prevent that if we can.
Yeah, okay. Well, I never knew that. I'm definitely learned something. And I think we all know someone where, you know, in some of our circles that suffers from diabetes. And so to know that there is that, because you do have to be very cautious. And so diabetic shoes. Okay, so I'm learning about this today. Are you too? So if you know somebody who is diabetic, then that might be something that you would want to refer them to go see Scotty and Aubrey and Audrey, sorry,
Yes, sir.
and check that out. Wow, that's very interesting. All right, so we have lots more to learn about, because I know I've got a lot of questions. And so right now we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsor. Check out with the local weather and news, and we'll be right back. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Hey everybody, I'm Larry May. I've been in the entertainment business for over 25 years. I've written for the local paper. I've interviewed a lot of touring artists and local artists here. And what I figured out is how much talent we have here in Alabama. That's why we put a new show together for you called Entertainment Alabama. Come watch us for the hottest new acts and some of your favorites that are national touring artists.
More than 2.5 million youths admitted to vaping, according to data from the CDC. Teens are at a greater risk for nicotine addiction because their brains are still developing. Please talk to your children about vaping.
Although we may see things differently,
the message can still reach me.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop, serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News update. 41-year-old Summerville, South Carolina native Alan Ray McGrew died on the 4th of July by igniting a firework from the top of his head. According to Dorchester County officials, the incident occurred at about 10:20 p.m. on a subdivision street, and McGrew was pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff's office said the device exploded on top of his head, which caused massive head injuries. According to the incident report, McGrew's wife told authorities that they were hosting a block party to celebrate Independence Day and that her husband had been drinking for several hours before the accident occurred. She also said that she observed her husband put a firework on his head in what she believed was an attempt to show off. The report also stated that McGrew's wife was telling him to stop when the firework went off. She, along with the others, witnessed him collapse. Independence Day is McGrew's favorite holiday, his wife told the Post and Courier, which reported that the firework used in the accident was legal. For more news stories like these, plus weather with Justin Deal and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Platts.
Rise and shine, everyone. It's 7:45 on your Tuesday morning, July the 9th. My goodness, how this year has flown by, and we've had so much fun every morning, every weekday morning, getting to meet great guests from around the community. And this morning we are getting to visit with Scotty and Audrey Sams with Family Prosthetic and Medical Supplies. So welcome back. Again, thanks for getting up this morning early. I know it's early, but it sure is fun.
It is.
And it's great to be able to tell people about things that they may not already know about. And information is key, because just because it's out there doesn't mean you know where to find it, and doesn't mean it's always good information, right? So being able to hear it straight from you is very beneficial to our viewers, so thank you.
You're welcome.
One of the questions I do have is some common misconceptions about who can write prescriptions for devices and supplies.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that, especially amputees, they think that they have to go back to the same surgeon that did the amputation to write a prescription for a new device. So they say they get the device, a prosthetic, right out of the gate when they first lose their leg. You can actually get a new device every 3 to 5 years, depending on what's going on. Or, you know, if things change and you come in and have to make an adjustment, we may send you back to the doctor to get a new prescription. But the reason I wanted to talk about that is I had a patient come in the other day, and he lost his leg 8 years ago. And he thought that he had to go back to his surgeon to get a prescription. And his surgeon is no longer practicing in the area that he had his leg amputated. So for the last, I will say his prosthetic was great for 3 years. So for the last 5 years, he's just been dealing with it because he did not know that he could just go to his normal doctor, his primary care physician. You could even go to an urgent care and get a prescription for a prosthetic. And so I sent him down the road to a local place. He talked to the doctor there, told him everything that was going wrong with his prosthetic, and they wrote a prescription, and he's set to deliver next week.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
wow, almost 8 years. He's, well, I guess you said 8 years, or for the last 4 or 5 years?
I would say for the last 5 years he's just been dealing with it, you know, because I mean, there's changes that happen. It's kind of a lifelong relationship because things happen. Their leg shape changes after a while, and they have to have adjustments done. You get supplies because there's liners, which is like, in layman's terms for everybody else, it's kind of like a sock. You know, putting on a prosthetic, you have a sock, or putting on your shoes every morning. You know, you put your sock and your shoe on. Well, the sock is the liner, and the shoe is the prosthetic. Okay. If you think of it that way, you don't always wear the same socks, right? So they need liners every so often because they wear out.
Sure.
And so, I mean, you come in to get things like that, but also, you know, knowing who to go to. So kind of back to the question, yeah, you can see anybody that's an MD, a DO, a nurse practitioner can write a prescription. You just need to tell them what's going on with it. If it's not fitting correctly anymore, if something's broken on it, sure. You know, anything like that. And the best thing to do is, you know, we try to set up appointments to where you're coming back in every so often so that we can check it and make sure everything's safe, nothing is broken or loose or anything like that, so that you're safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to fall and weight gain and loss, that could add to it. And I can imagine if a prosthetic is off, like on your lower extremity, and then you're putting more weight, it could cause issues maybe on your other leg or your back, other parts of your body. So how often should you get a prescription or go see your doctor?
So every time you see your doctor, if you go for a runny nose, you should update them on what's going on with your prosthetic, especially if you're a prosthetic user. With the diabetic shoes and everything, the way that's set up, you have to have an evaluation by the doctor every single time where they actually evaluate your feet. Going to do a prosthetic, though, you just kind of talk with the doctor about what's going on and say, hey, this isn't fitting right. It's rubbing a blister here or something like that. It's painful.
Yeah.
And they can write a prescription to send you in to see me, and then we have to kind of work together to get exactly what you need. And so that I can send back something for the doctor to sign to show exactly what you need so that we can get the paper all right so that insurance will be able to know what they're paying for.
Yeah, so it's very important to talk to your doctor about your prosthetics.
Yeah. Just real quick too, if you go to the doctor, every time you go to the doctor and you don't talk about your prosthetic, and then all of a sudden you need something, and you haven't talked to your doctor about your prosthetic and how things are going with it, and we submit to the insurance, they're going to say, well, we don't have a history of them even having a prosthetic. Or, if you go to a new doctor, they got to put that in their notes that when you talk to them, you have a prosthetic, you're an amputee below the knee, above the knee, below elbow, above elbow, whatever's going on, because the insurance is going to look at the history. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think of it like that. You kind of have to have that baseline and then build on it. So, yeah, because we don't ever want to give the insurance a reason to deny the claim, right?
Right.
Is that your area?
That's not hard to do.
I know. They're always going to look for some reason to say no.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And which, if I was paying for something, I would want to make sure it was what it was supposed to be and that it was needed.
Sure.
And I know that sounds funny, but as much as we like getting new shoes all the time, we don't have to have new shoes every 2 months. We don't have to have a new pair of shoes.
Right.
But if there's a reason to get a new pair of shoes,
Audrey and I do, yeah. But no, yeah, you don't have to. And so, yeah, with the insurance, it's important for them to know that they're spending the money in appropriate ways. Do you ever have to go to battle with the insurance company?
I do. Most of the time I send it to him, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Because he knows way more than I do.
So, Audrey, she came into work with me in the last 2 years. She's still learning a lot about the field. But, doing family, the reason I picked family for Family Prosthetics is because, like I said, I wanted to bring that mom and pop shop back, the family feel to it. And so she's working with me. Like I said, my mother, who's an amputee, is working with me. And, when people come in, I want them to feel like they're part of the family, and the good part of the family,
Yeah.
No feuds.
Yeah, really. Yeah, it does. From looking at the Facebook page and your website, it does look, of course, it is a family atmosphere. And again, like I said earlier, that's a tough situation when you're looking at losing a limb and you're looking at adding a prosthetic to your life. And so to have that peace of mind that you have someone that you can talk to, that you can relate to, that you can call on their phone and that is there for them, there's a lot of comfort in that. And that family dynamic and that mom and pop shop is so important. It is. We've got to get back to that too. I think as a society, we need to get back to that good feel of mom and pop and shopping local. Shopping local. You don't have to go outside of your community to get something like a prosthetic, and a really cool one too. Something that I was speaking of your Facebook page, and I had to put some pictures. Is how cool you can make the prosthetics. So I saw one with a butterfly, one that was camouflage. Look at those. One is that like a tie-dye? Those are really cool. So those are customized, or? Yeah,
so the socket itself is custom to the patient, to their shape of their limb. And then the outside, what we do is everything's laminated, so we get some type of fabric. A lot of times people want to bring t-shirts But I usually do like Hobby Lobby or something like that, let them pick out what they want.
Yeah.
And then we put that on there. The one in the middle, that guy, that was his favorite kind of Hawaiian shirt. And so we put that one on there. We got a camouflage one there. That's probably, here in Alabama, camouflage in Alabama is the two most popular designs we put on there.
Wow, those are so neat. I didn't know that you could customize. So y'all do that in-house?
Yes, everything is made in-house. Everything as far as the custom portion of the leg is made in-house. I do order, as far as a prosthetic foot, I do order that out, and as far as everything to set it up. But the actual device that's custom is made there in Alexandria.
That's so cool and very creative. It's kind of like a tattoo for your prosthetics almost, you know, give you some flair. That's really neat. And so those are all custom fit, so they're comfortable. And I mean, that to me would be very important because, again, like we were talking earlier, if it's off, like Audrey mentioned, your back problems, like you don't want to add any more, you know, things, right? You don't want to have, we never do, you know, we don't, if our foot hurts, we don't want our back to have to hurt because of it. And so to be able to have that. So a prosthetic foot. Okay, so what all can you get a prosthetic? Foot, feet, below the limb?
Yeah, so if you, pretty much at any joint all the way up from your toes to midfoot to your ankle, you know, below the knee, at the knee, above the knee, you know, those are all areas that can be amputated. And sometimes I have patients where they come in, they lose a toe, kind of going back to the diabetic struggle. They lose a toe, and then they lose part of the foot, and then they lose above the knee or below the knee. And hopefully, you know, hopefully it stops or it never starts, but I want to make sure that I can take care of them at any path or any part of their journey. You know, this.
What's the most challenging prosthetic that you've worked with?
The most challenging, I would say, is probably the hip dysartic. Is probably the most challenging, but it's not something that's not that you can't do. You know, it's a little bit more of a learning curve for the patient and how to making it, trying to make sure everything's comfortable. That is, you know, you kind of do it a little at a time. So if something's not quite right, people can come back in for an adjustment. You were talking about possibly being off in your back, having issues.
Yeah.
I've had physical therapists, I've had chiropractors send folks back to the office to lengthen or shorten the prosthetic so that it's not bothering their back. Or, like I said, evaluations just to come in and see us and talk about it is absolutely free. Adjustment appointments are absolutely free. We bill for the device itself when we bill insurance.
Yeah. Well, there is a quote from you that I read. God has laid it on my heart to give, and you have a program called God Makes a Way. And when we get back from our commercial break, I want to dive into that. I want to learn more about that program. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24. We'll be right back.
Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hello, I'm Taylor Sloan with the City of Oxford, with a word about one of our city's most precious resources, water. Clean water enriches our lives in so many ways, but we cannot afford to take it for granted. Remember, every time you pour something unnatural down the drain or in the environment, and every time you litter, our beautiful lakes and creeks suffer. Our city is beautiful. Let's all join together to keep it that way. Stop pollution where it starts, and help protect our waters for life.
The weather is warming up and spring is just around the corner at Miller Sand and Landscape Supply. I'm Craig Miller and we've got something for everyone. From bulk materials like sand, gravel, and mulch to beautiful outdoor decor to make your outdoor living space the envy of the neighborhood. See our beautiful selection of Mazzarelli fountains, flowers to brighten your garden, and an outdoor center loaded with beautiful decor. Whether you need a little or a lot, visit Miller Sand and Landscape Supply.
Lacey Plants with your TV 24 News update. 41-year-old Summerville, South Carolina native Alan Ray McGrew died on the 4th of July by igniting a firework from the top of his head. According to Dorchester County officials, the incident occurred at about 10:20 p.m. on a subdivision street, and McGrew was pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff's office said the device exploded on top of his head, which caused massive head injuries. According to the incident report, McGrew's wife told authorities that they were hosting a block party to celebrate Independence Day and that her husband had been drinking for several hours before the accident occurred. She also said that she observed her husband put a firework on his head in what she believed was an attempt to show off. The report also stated that McGrew's wife was telling him to stop when the firework went off. She, along with the others, witnessed him collapse. Independence Day is McGrew's favorite holiday, his wife told the Post and Courier, which reported that the firework used in the accident was legal. For more news stories like these, plus weather with Justin Deal and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Plants.
Rise and shine on this beautiful Tuesday morning, July 9th. It's 8:03 in the morning, and we are visiting with Scotty and Audrey Sams with Family Prosthetics and Medical Supplies. And while we were on a break, I was of course asking about the shoes. And so because I'm very interested, I do have an important family member of mine who has diabetes, and you were telling me about the shoes because I said, well, if they're not cute, they're not gonna like them. And Audrey said, hey, they are cute. So tell me, you were telling me about the Brooks.
We have Brooks in men's and women's.
Okay.
They only come in like one color, I think, but they're still very comfortable. I'm not a diabetic, but I wear them, and they are super, super comfortable. I love them.
Yeah.
So used to, diabetic shoes are absolutely ugly.
Yeah.
And if somebody was wearing diabetic shoes, you knew it.
Mm-hmm.
They have come so far. They look really nice now, and they're lightweight.
Nice.
Don't let that push you away if you think you're not going to have a choice. I have a setup there at the office with a display to show you some of the shoes we've got. And there's a couple of different companies out there that we order from, shoes. Anodyne is one we're using now.
Good.
We have the booklets that they can
Yeah, we
look
have
through.
booklets they can look through and pick out. Like I said, we got a display there. We kind of work together. It's not when you come in, we're not going to say, well, you got to wear this black huge shoe.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
That's what I was picturing when you said diabetic shoes.
Gaudy. Yeah.
We're going to let you pick out something nice.
Still want to be stylish.
Right.
Of course.
And like she was saying, Brooks are real popular right now. There is Brooks. I think it's like one every year, one every other year. They'll come out with a new design or new color. Well, they'll add the extra widths and everything, and it classifies as a diabetic shoe. And so, you know, they're trying. They're trying to make it to where it's a little bit better for everybody.
So good. So you can keep your feet comfortable and stylish.
Right.
You don't have to sacrifice style. So when we went to a break, Scotty, I had read a quote from you. God has laid it on my heart to give. And you have a program there at Family Prosthetics called God Makes a Way. Now, from what I've read, this is a giveaway.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an annual giveaway. And so what has been going on is over the years, I have seen so many people struggle with being able to afford their 20% to their insurance, or they don't have insurance at all. And so, you know, seeing people struggle like that, and to do this, I feel like you have to have a heart anyway. Yeah. And, you know, God laid it on my heart to kind of give back. And so this program, it's an annual giveaway every November, you know, the month of thanks. I'll give away one prosthesis. I did limit it to lower extremity, so that's below the knee or above the knee. But what I do there is, you know, and I won't share your information if you don't want me to, but, you know, just a little bit of background, you know, just to say, you know, I lost my leg because of this. The last guy that we did something for, he lost his job because he lost his leg, and it was prolonged so long he lost his job, then lost his insurance. So we ended up, you know, making him a prosthesis for free. And, you know, we can't give everything away because we do have to keep the lights on to stay there for everybody and be available for everybody. But I think once a year, you know, is a good thing to start. And to be eligible for that, I kind of got my list here because I would, you know, I would like some kind of writing, or even just come in and do an evaluation with me and just kind of tell me your story. The only thing that I say as far as being eligible is I don't want to just give one away to somebody that has the greatest insurance and is not going to have to pay for it anyway.
Sure.
I would like to do something for somebody that doesn't have insurance, or the other thing, has an insurance deductible exceeding $4,000. So with the healthcare system now, a lot of people have got insurance, but their deductible is $10,000.
Yeah.
Well,
So
if you come in to get a prosthetic and your deductible is $10,000, you're going to have to pay for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, that's a need.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So not if your deductible exceeds $4,000, you're eligible.
$4,000 or more. You know, below that, we do take payments there. It's not like when you get the device, you have to pay your 20% right then. So we do take payments, and even people that would like to get a device and make payments, we can do that as well.
Okay.
But back to this, you have to have a prescription from your doctor. Like I said earlier, it has to be a MD, DO, nurse practitioner. Does not have to be the surgeon that took the leg, that did the amputation. One applicant will be chosen each November 1st annually.
They need to be turned in before September 30th, on or before?
Yeah, so September 30th is my cutoff for the next year. So if you put it in, you know, October 1st, you would go to the next year. So if it's you put it on October the 1st of this year, you may get a prosthetic in 2025.
Okay.
Well, but that's just to where, you know, people aren't trying to get it all in at the last second, and
you gotta have some time to explore these.
And the reason I'm doing it in November is it's the month of thanks, but also you get it in November, and hopefully we can have you up and walking for Thanksgiving, and you know, we can have you ready to, you know, get around the toe for Thanksgiving, but also Christmas, and when you go to see your family, hopefully we can have you up walking and moving.
Some Christmas dancing.
Be a nice
I went
Christmas
to an
gift.
event not too long ago, and there was a lady with a prosthetic leg, and she was a great dancer. I mean, it was not, I mean, she was moving, and it was really encouraging to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are really active. You know, you can't, like I said, you can't put everybody in the same box. I mean, you don't start off running. You know, we all start off laying there and then crawling and then learning to walk, right? So, you know, I have had people, the first time they put one on, I'm like, all right, slow down, hang on to the parallel bars, let's not fall.
Yeah.
But
Get used to it. Yeah.
But I've had some people that are scared to put weight on it, and I'm there to, and I'm very patient. I'm going to make sure that you know, they're comfortable and they're learning to walk. I'm not just going to give you a prosthetic like it's a pack of M&Ms and say, okay, here you go.
There you go.
You know, I want to make sure that you're able to use it. And so
that's important.
But
Having it is one thing. You being able to use it is definitely another.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And to have somebody who's patient with this, because when, like, if you're learning to walk again, essentially, you know, and sometimes that can be intimidating and maybe even embarrassing a little bit if you're not getting it right away. So to have somebody that you know is there to comfort you and to be patient with you, I'm sure means the world to your clients.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is open now. If you want to apply for this God Makes a Way program, you can email it info@familyprosthetic.com. You can send your story in that way and make sure that you get that information in. Again, applicants are eligible to apply if you have no insurance or have a large insurance deductible exceeding $4,000, so, and a prescription from a physician. So go ahead, if you know someone who is in need of a prosthetic who may not be able to afford it, this would be a great thing for you to share with them. You could even submit some information for them, I'm sure, but they'll need to, of course, have their prescription information. So get that in before September 30th, and it may be you that wins a below-the-knee prosthetic device. And that comes with one liner, one suspension method, and a sock bundle. What a great thing. So that's the God Makes a Way program, so make sure you apply for that. You mentioned when we were talking about the program, of course, if you do have a large deductible, not everyone is able to afford that, and you mentioned some payment options. Let's go into that.
Yes, so I don't do anything like a finance. I don't charge you interest to, you know, do anything like that. I just, when I bill the insurance, it's the understanding between me and the insurance company that I'm collecting the 20% that is owed by the patient, unless they have a secondary. So say it's $100 and they owe $20. Well, if they can't pay that right then, it's okay for me to bill them for that. And so, you know, as long as we communicate, I'm fine with people paying a little bit each month so that it's affordable. You know, I mean, I know it kind of sounds silly, but people make car payments so they can get around. People can make a payment for a prosthesis if they have to, and it doesn't have to be as expensive as a car payment. It can be very small. But that way, you know, if somebody is needing to get going, we can get them going.
I can imagine oftentimes with losing a limb, it also comes with a lot of medical expenses. And if you have lost it because of an accident, you have the accident expenses. So sometimes even a small amount could be hard. And I think that's really gracious of you to do, because you said earlier, and just like all businesses are there to, of course, have to make a profit so they can stay in business, so you can continue for years and years and years to be there for your patient. So it's important. You have to make money. That's how business works. It is. But that's really gracious of you to give those options.
I had a patient call yesterday that got a bill in the mail, and they were concerned about it, and I told them, you know, let's just work together. If it's $5, you know, just something simple like that is fine. The one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be hurting. I don't want you to be unstable and possibly fall, all because you're scared to come in thinking I'm not going to see you because you have a balance. I would much rather you be functional and, you know, that money just sit there for a little bit. You know, I understand there's been times in my life where I've had to kind of push something down the road a little bit to pay for it.
Oh yeah, we all have, that's for sure. Well, we have some more things to talk about. We're going to go check in with some of our sponsors, including you. We've got your commercial running on this morning, and see a little bit about what's going on with the news and your local weather. So stay tuned. You're watching Rise and Shine right here on WEAC TV 24.
Some say college isn't for single parents or people who work full-time. I'm here to prove them wrong. I'm a first-generation American, the father of Dion, and a non-traditional student at Gadsden State Community College. As a sergeant in the Army National Guard, I've watched soldiers with degrees progress faster in their careers. So today, I'm in school, involved in the Veterans Upward Bound program, and excited to see what's in store for my career. I truly am earning my wings at Gadsden State.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
Hey everybody, I'm Larry May. I've been in the entertainment business for over 25 years. I've written for the local paper. I've interviewed a lot of touring artists and local artists here. And what I figured out is how much talent we have here in Alabama. That's why we put a new show together for you called Entertainment Alabama. Come watch us for the hottest new acts and some of your favorites that are national touring artists.
More than 2.5 million youths admitted to vaping according to data from the CDC. Teens are at a greater risk for nicotine addiction because their brains are still developing. Please talk to your children about vaping.
Although we may see things differently,
the message can still reach me.
Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery in Oxford is the area's leading auto body shop serving Anniston, Oxford, Talladega, and surrounding areas since 1996. They specialize in auto body repair and refinishing, paint correction, paintless dent repair, towing, and so much more. For all of your auto body needs, contact Hughes Paint and Body Works Towing and Recovery at 256-835-1170. Also online at HughesPaintandBody.com.
I'm Alan Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
At Family Prosthetic Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel, but professional care. Come see us today.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your TV 24 News Update. 41-year-old Somerville, South Carolina native Alan Ray McGrew died on the 4th of July by igniting a firework from the top of his head. According to Dorchester County officials, the incident occurred at about 10:20 p.m. on a subdivision street, and McGrew was pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff's office said the device exploded on top of his head, which caused massive head injuries. According to the incident report, McGrew's wife told authorities that they were hosting a block party to celebrate Independence Day and that her husband had been drinking for several hours before the accident occurred. She also said that she observed her husband put a firework on his head in what she believed was an attempt to show off. The report also stated that McGrew's wife was telling him to stop when the firework went off. She, along with the others, witnessed him collapse. Independence Day is McGrew's favorite holiday, his wife told the Post and Courier, which reported that the firework used in the accident was legal. For more news stories like these, plus weather with Justin Deal and sports, tune in tonight to the TV 24 News. For WEAC TV 24, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Rise and shine, everyone. It's 8:20 on your Tuesday morning, July 9th, and I've so enjoyed getting to finally meet Scotty and Audrey. I get to see you, of course, all the time on our commercials, and now actually getting to learn more about your business and getting to meet you. This has been a lot of fun. So thank you for all that you do for the community and for being here with us this morning. So we've talked about your God Makes a Way program. Make sure that you look into that. If you have any questions, you're welcome to call Family Prosthetics. Tell us the phone number. Who knows the phone number? That's always a tough one.
Yeah, so our phone number there is 256-403-6344.
There you go. So if you have any questions about that, how to apply, they also have a great Facebook page. You can find them on Family Prosthetics and Medical Supply on Facebook, and also a website that has great information there. There's galleries of the different type of prosthetics that are available and great information there. Or either stop by. They're conveniently located right there on 144 and 431 in Alexandria, right behind the Waffle House.
Right behind the Waffle House.
And that great grocery store that you're right beside too. That's a good store. So we've talked about some misconceptions. We've talked about how important it is to talk to your doctor, even if you were just going in for a routine checkup. If you have a prosthetic, go ahead and talk to your doctor about it so that insurance doesn't have any I don't know about this. We don't want to give them any reasons. And then we've also talked about the devices, the diabetic shoes, and the medical supplies. Have we touched on that a little bit about what medical supplies, diabetic shoes, and...
Yeah, so we're not necessarily a medical supply store. You know, there's a couple of those around here. We do have some medical supplies in the office as far as walkers and crutches and wheelchairs and things of that nature. But, you know, we can get that stuff for you. We can bill insurance for that stuff. So we want to have it there, have a little bit there. Most of it would be order in. And all of that would be custom set up for the patient as well. So, I mean, as simple as if somebody needs crutches, I'm not just going to hand you some crutches. I'll set it up to your height to make sure it's functional for you. With a walker, you know.
That's
just different things like
too.
that. Yeah.
You don't even think about that. You think crutches, oh, here's some crutches. But they need to be fitted for you, or they could be uncomfortable, or you could, you know, get rubbed, you know, blisters, or, you know, or again, mess up that alignment of your body if you're on crutches. So, and support local. You can get this locally. And so to me, that's very important. I do want to talk about how technology has advanced, and is there anything exciting happening in the world of prosthetics that you're personally excited about? Some advancements or technology?
Yeah, so it has come a long way from, you know, wood sockets and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, even the traditional way in the last 20 years of using just plaster and things like that to get molds. There's a scanning technology now to where we can I could use my phone and scan the residual limb and make a cast that way. And that works a lot. Sometimes I do have to do the old plaster type for certain cases. They're 3D printing prosthetics now, so that's a little bit quicker on the turnaround time. You know, there's a lot going on. And just in the world of function, I mean, you got the osteointegration. You know, some people are getting the titanium integrated into their femur.
Okay.
To where they don't have to wear a socket. You know, that's not for everybody, but you know, for some people, that's a big thing going on right now. So
yeah,
that's pretty neat. But yeah, the biggest thing is you know, all the technology in the world is great, and we want to make it as seamless as possible. We want to make sure that you know, we can get everything done and have the most comfort and the best function. And if the most comfort and function is with something brand new, then that's great. If the most comfort and function is something that's what we call old school now, that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
I had a lady the other day, she's had her prosthetic for about 6 months, and she kept getting a small blister, and we couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Well, she ended up having a scar on her leg, and so what we're doing now is we are making a custom liner for her to where it'll fill in that scar and stop the stretching and, you know, everything that's making the scar, you know, open back up. And so, you know, there's no standard for everybody's gonna get this one thing. It's all, you know, if you was to take a prosthetic that was fit on me and put it on you, it's not gonna fit, you know. And so you got things as far as the fit, but you also have function, you know. You may get up and go run every morning. I don't, you know. So if it's, you know, if it's something that needs to be, you know, a little more active, we have that. If it's something that's just to get you from, you know, from where you're sitting to the bathroom and back, you know, we want to take care of everybody.
Yeah. So when someone comes in, are these questions that you ask them, like, what is your lifestyle?
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense. And again, that is where as you call it, a mom and pop or a local place can take time. And that's important because you're looking at like your movability and your lifestyle not having to change. Like you said, I mean, I'm not a runner, but I mean, I'm here every morning. I don't have time to run.
That's
no,
right.
but yeah, but your lifestyle, like you don't want to have to change that just because, you know, you've had an amputation. You want to be able to have that same quality of life and get around and be comfortable. And like you said, that's so important to make sure that they're fitted correctly.
And we have, you know, the different types of prosthetic feet that can be, you know, there's all kind of them. So, I mean, you got different types of shoes, right? Nike, New Balance, all that. Yeah. There's all different kind of feet, and they don't just make 1 foot per company. They have a selection. Yeah. So, you know, I have people that play golf. Well, we have a foot that rotates at the foot. So when they're swinging through, you know, they have some rotation.
That's neat, ain't it?
So everybody, the reason I'm saying that is that there's specifics for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, so we want to try to keep them at the same lifestyle they were at before their amputation, if not improve.
So speaking of lifestyle, you are very busy making sure everyone has the great quality of life. How do you balance being so busy with your personal life? I'm going to ask both of you this.
Well, our kids are all in sports, and so we're very busy.
Yeah.
But you know, we make time for that. You know, it's one thing about having the business now, since it's so new, is we do have a little bit of free time in the mornings. Sometimes, not this morning.
No,
sometimes we have a little free time in the morning, you know, to do things, but it kind of works out.
Yeah.
You know, God knows what He's doing.
Yeah.
We just work together, I think. You know, if he has to leave for work early to get there, then I'll handle the kids, or if I have to leave, then he does it, you know. Yeah. But we close at 4. Doesn't mean he won't answer his phone, because he will, and which is fine. We've gotten used to it, you know. I mean, it is what it is. The kids love it. We've pulled over and helped people that's called, you know, and we just sit in the car and wait on him.
Yeah.
So.
Do any of your kids show any interest in?
Our son does.
He does.
He does. He has been actually at the office quite a few times this summer, just helping and watching and learning. So maybe he'll get into it. Maybe he will.
He might follow in the path, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, I want to make sure before our time is up that everyone knows how to contact you, and if there's any other info that you want to make sure our viewers know. Hours, that's a big one. How many days you're open. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're open Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. But like she said, you can always reach out to me, and we can set up, you know, a time to meet. We don't live far away from the office, so we're able to get there if we need to meet there. Yeah. As far as a way to contact us, you can message us through our website. You can contact us through that. You can contact us on Messenger. If you're like me and you're old school, you like to talk on the phone, feel free to call. Phone number is 256-403-6344. You can also email us at info@familyprosthetic.com. There's plenty of ways to reach out to us, or stop by.
Yeah.
Stop by and say hello. If I'm busy, it'll be a short wait and we can talk. If I'm not busy, we'll come right back.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for starting your day off with us. And thank you. Please make sure to share this information. If you are watching on television, you can share it on Facebook or YouTube. So we'll see you back here tomorrow. It's Oven Odyssey Wednesday tomorrow. We'll see what Chef Dave is cooking up.